So this is Verbena bonarienses, probably one of the most useful spindly wiry plants you'll get for your garden. Now these make up to 5 foot, possibly 6 in the right conditions, but they're very, very short-lived. So I've come on today to try and teach you how to take a few cuttings off of these things. Now personally, I just let these things seed around because they're really effective at doing that and very successful at seeding around, to the point they can become a bit of a nuisance if they're uncontrolled. But again, if you look after your garden and keep your eye on it, you can spot these things a mile away and you can weed them out, simply weed them out, because they will become a nuisance eventually. So they'll probably only live 3 years, giving you the best show. Then after that, they'll not look so great. Now, as I said, I prefer to let these plants actually seed themselves around. And I often find seedlings and I move them into the garden, and that's exactly what I've done here. Found this seedling earlier this year, as I did other ones, and I've just dotted them around in the garden because I want these things to be all over the garden because they are a nice linking plant. So wherever you walk in the garden, you'll actually see them. So if you can wait till the actual plant sets seed from that, and they're not doing that at the moment, most of them won't be, and some will be depending on which part of the country you're in, they will produce your seeds. You can collect the seeds and then sow those next year, maybe in early spring. And they should romp away and be good for you. Now they are a bit of a bee magnet. The bees enjoy them. So that's another good reason to have them in. Now, if you've got a border that's tightly packed, these won't care. These will come up through those perennials and pop their heads above it, because that's what they do. So they produce multiple flower heads like this, and they usually flower, well, they always flower towards the top. And then what they'll do later on in the season, and these are only babies, is they will push out side shoots, as you can see there, and they will eventually produce more flowers. So they're absolutely beautiful, and I love them, and I've been keeping them for years and years. Now, if you want to take cuttings from these things, up in Lincolnshire at the minute would be a good time because the weather's okay for that, to do that, and they are quite quick to get away. One of the best methods you can use is you can take something like this one here. So that's about, what I'd say, that's about 4 inches. This particular one here is 4 inches, and what you do, and I'm going to sacrifice this now, is you simply snap it away and you're left with that. From there, you can strip away the bottom leaves. I'm filming this on my own, so it's pretty difficult, but I'll do that now off camera. So you strip away the leaves, and you either pop them into a glass of water and leave them in there for a while, and you'll see that they will quickly root, or you prepare some compost, ordinary compost, put them into a small pot, and then simply dot them around. What I would do as well is I would take out that tip. So there you go, the tip's taken out. I would slide that down. Let's show you, demonstrate on the side of the pot. I would go down that far with it, and then I would put it in a sort of a protected area, especially at the minute. We're in September, remember. I'd put that into a protected area and just let it do its thing, and just wait till it either sets roots this year, which it will if it's protected enough, or do these cuttings again in spring, and when it will produce even more, and take more cuttings. So I would suggest that you take a few cuttings. There are a few bits of cutting material on here, and I don't want to take any cuttings because I have no need to, because I have so many of these plants around, dotted around the garden, that it's pointless. I just simply wait for the bigger ones to grow, and then they'll set seed and off we go. What we'll do is we'll just demonstrate in this bit of the garden. So you would have, your garden would be, you know, if it's like mine, a perennial border like this, you would find it within the border itself, and it will definitely be shooting up as tall as that. In fact, it would be probably that tall in your border all over. So it would be looking really nice, and it would go into mixed borders like this a treat. Currently, I'm spreading it all around grassy bottom, and I've got lots of these pots. These were all babies that I pulled out of the garden in early spring. They're all in pots and they're already flowering, and they really need to go in the ground now, and they will go in the ground in the next week or so. And then they will be doing their things. Now them pots there, this one here is a lot larger, as you can probably make out on here. So that plant's bigger than the ones in the pot, but that was taken at exactly the same time. It was a seedling taken at exactly the same time. And as you can see, again, it's producing those side shoots. So I would let them go a little bit more and then pop them off. So maybe 2 inches minimum on the main stem bit there, and then pop them out, put them in some water, or put them straight into some compost, into a pot. Stand them aside and just forget about them. So I hope that's helped you out. If you're a novice to these things, you're not quite sure what to do with Verbena bonarienses, and that's how you do it. I'll talk to you on the next one. Ta-da!